Welcome to Cellopedia, this is Maxim. Today we will work on the third movement of Saint-Saëns Cello Concerto. This is an amazing piece, but it has so many obstacles, technical challenges. I worked with many students on this movement, and I would like to share with you few suggestions and practical exercises to work on each particular difficult spot. Let's tune and get to work. We'll start working on the spot from the measure 440 through 444. We'll play it extremely slowly in the tempo 8th note 60. And we will also play just one note per bow. That will allow us to pay all the attention to the left hand precision. And that will help us to play later on in a faster tempo without losing clarity of intonation. After you learned it this way, we can increase tempo and add legato bowings. We will try it in tempo 8th note 92. Then we will work the same way on 4 measures from 448. 1 note per bow, 8th note 60. Now we will add slurs and increase tempo to 8th note 92. The next fragment from the measure 452 all the way to 460. Of course, 1 note per bow and back to slower tempo, 8th note 60. You could also consider alternative fingerings, where you will be using thumb position. Here how it works. This is my preferred fingerings to use. Let me show you how that works in a faster tempo, 8 note 92. Now I will play for you from measure 462. I like to use the combination of 3 and 1 for the first two groups. If you find 3-2 more useful, of course you might want to play like this. The alternative way is to use thumb position in measure 464, and this is my preference. This will work this way. And now the same spot in faster tempo, 8 note 92. I will use thumb position. Before we try next couple of lines, I think it would be useful to work on those ascending passages in slower tempo. We will not use metronome. It's so hard to divide 18 or 19 notes, but I will try to make it as clear as possible for you to hear it and maybe even to follow. Here is the end of the measure 470. A bit faster. And now with the original bowings. The end of the measure 474, one note per bow. A bit faster now. And now with slurs. Let's put it together from the measure 468. This part of the movement feels like a cadenza. Naturally, you might want to use some rubato, play a little bit faster, a little bit slower, as if it's your improvisation. Of course, it will require good communication with piano accompanist or with a conductor if you play with orchestra. The following spot, the octaves, I would like to suggest to you to work on it step by step, not just playing from slow to fast tempo, but using a few preparatory exercises. First of the exercises would be just to make sure that you can play all the notes with the thumb on the D string in tune. When you do it, try to follow it with your third finger. Don't keep it too close like this. So keep it approximately at the distance you are going to use it, but only play the note with the thumb. The next step would be to play with broken octaves. That is, you play the bottom note and then you add the top note. This doesn't have to be done in tempo or even paying much attention to the rhythm. Just try to listen to the distance between thumb and the third finger and get used to make it as precise as possible. This is quite intense exercise. Your thumb has to work really hard. Most likely you will have pain somewhere there. In a way, that's normal. That's how you train yourself. Of course, if it's too sore, stop for a while, play something else. But little by little, you will develop the strength and stamina. And also, your skin on thumb will get thicker and thicker, and that will be less painful. But again, it requires a lot of willpower and time and effort to master this spot. And then, of course, you need to try it the way it's written, and you will start it somewhat slower or moderate tempo, like this. Measure 524, artificial harmonics. We will need first to check the distance between thumb and the third finger. It's quite similar to the way you worked on the octaves. And like with octaves, you miscalculate this distance and this note will sound completely off. This is the preparatory exercise I would suggest. First you play the note with thumb, then you play the note with the third finger pressing on the string, and then you release the third finger and you should hear very clear harmonic. When you work on this, you will also get a chance to get used to the proper bow placement. That means that you should keep the bow as close to the bridge as possible. This is where is the spot which will allow all artificial harmonics to sound as clear as you can make them. And the last part I would like to work with you is starting from the measure 534. Before I do it, I would like to thank all the Patreon supporters of Cellopedia. You guys make it possible for me to make videos like this. And if you would like to show your support to this project, please consider joining Patreon. And in return, I will post some interesting videos to play alone and music with my fingerings. This way you will give me a chance to give you some more useful material to inspire you to keep playing cello and get even better. I will play the following 12 measures, one note per bow in tempo 8 note 60. And now I will play it for you all the way through the measure 551 in tempo quarter note 60, so that will be 2 times faster compared to how I played it for you just before that. Thank you for tuning in. I hope this video helped you to solve some of the problems you might encounter working on this wonderful music. Keep working and please come back to Cellopedia again. See you soon.